Alright, welcome back. Let's go on with part 2. Let's load our save game 1. We have our 2,200 funds available. Everything looks good. Today we're gonna try to settle a colony. So to do this, we need to load people on our ship. We have 0 people. So we go in our book. Let's hire 3 army men, 2 settlers, 4 workers, 2 explorers, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 1 teacher, 1 engineer, and a couple of storemen. And there they are, all loaded on our boat. Alright, let's short haul them. And the reason I short haul out of England is if you try to long haul in these areas, sometimes your boat just gets stuck going back and forth. So it's easiest to get it out and then send it on its way. Alright, while we're at it, no, let's not worry about that. Alright. Wait till our ship gets here. We're coming here to this. And as we see, these areas are swamp, as you just saw. That French settler wandered into the swamp and he drowned. Let that be a lesson. Do not bring your settlers into the swamps. Also the deserts. Your people will not last very long in the desert. They will die. There's also hives of bees, tornadoes, and other disasters that'll take your ships and your people, which is why you don't run around on speed 5. Even though speed 5 may disable some disasters. Alright, let's go ahead and dock our ship in this empty spot. Stop that crazy music. Alright, now the way you offload your people is select your ship while it's in an uncolonized harbor, and you click on that person. We're going to dump these soldiers off first. Now you can't, if a person is standing on the harbor circle, it won't let you offload another person, so you have to give them a destination and have them walk to it before you can get another person off. That's why I keep it on about 2 speed at this point. Alright, I know I'm going to want a fort right about here. So let's go ahead and move this guy up. Forts are harder to kill than your soldiers are by themselves, so that's why you turn forts. You can't turn one back back from a fort into a soldier that I know of. even though when you attack, when you attack an enemy fort, the soldiers come out. So I'm not sure how that works. But now we're protected by the swamps on this side. We got forts on this side. Big as the French are up here. And later on in the game, they may get jealous and come down here and try to attack. So at least we'll have a little bit of defense. We don't want to block it completely. As you'll see in a minute, we're going to send our explorer up. We're going to leave one mobile soldier. Alright, let's go ahead and get... It's best to pick the people that you're going to send the farthest first to get them out of the way so they don't block each other in. And we know we're sending our explorers and our teacher the farthest, so we can go ahead and get them off the boat. Alright. Now there's another swamp up here, so we don't want to walk into it. So let's send them straight this way. Alright, so far so good. Okay. Now, this is a native hut. Periodically, if you do not keep schoolhouses near your natives, they will become restless and they will attack your structures. So it's always best, if you're planning to colonize an area, to send a teacher up to the local inhabitants and teach them the ways of your civilization so that they understand and don't attack your buildings. He just needs to be adjacent. So we'll move him right up there next to it. And then we'll begin instructing it. You convert him into a building by using the build icon. And now he's a schoolhouse. Alright, explorers. They build resource extractors. But you need to find the resources, and the resources are coal, gold, and iron ore that these fellas can find. So these are always next to mountains. So you send them to your nearest mountains. I didn't bother these mountains. I have searched these mountains from one end to the other, and I cannot find any resources. I could be wrong. I don't know if I did this part here, but I did this part and drowned several explorers, so that's why I didn't bother with these mountains. Let's get this guy off, show you what he does. This is your engineer. Let's send him up here. And let's get off a couple of settlers because we'll need them in a minute. Alright. Where are you going? I said go here. There we go. Alright, when they locate something, it will show up here. So what you do is you move them around a little bit and then you look. Basically each new square they move into. He's found iron ore. Now we can click his little factory, and he's now an iron ore factory. Or well, not factory. He's an iron ore mine. All right, let's bring this fellow over, and you'll see what his special ability is. That's what I mean by they get dumb if you try to send them too far. Okay, he figured it out. Now an engineer, his special ability is building bridges. So if you need to get across somewhere to look for resources, you can send your engineer. Because he can cross waterways. You send him to where you want to build a bridge, and then you convert him into a bridge. Then other people can cross him. This is last work, so he's gone after that. Alright, now let's walk this fellow around. See if he can find anything on this side. Spacebar is really good for this. You don't have to click. You just hold the arrow over him and keep tapping the spacebar. Okay. He found some. Now he stopped. He may stop when he finds something. That's handy to know. I didn't remember that. Alright, so now we've got 2 iron ore. Let's convert him to a factory. Now your a mining camp. Now your mining camps will send their resources to the closest settlement of the nation that owns the mining camp, so it'll come here, but I have nowhere to store it, so it's just wasted right now. These fellas are settlers. They do the same thing, but they look for agricultural goods. Let's do this theory, see if they stop when they find one. This is cotton, because this area grows cotton. So we'll convert him into a farmer. Let's see if we've got some more cotton down here. You don't want to build right around your harbor dot, because then people can't easily walk, so you want to kind of spread out away from it. Alright, we're gonna, now we have 2 cotton. That is going to produce a lot of cotton. I've found that you need about twice as many warehouses as you need resource gatherers, and even then, and factories, as you need twice as many factories as you have natural resources. Or your warehouses will just fill up with the resource. And of course the resource doesn't sell for as much as the manufacturing goods does. Alright, let's create us a factory row. All these fellas have to be as close to the port, so there you don't have to worry about finding a particular icon for them. And since we're not worried about blocking the south part of the territory here because of that swamp, We'll go ahead and move these guys out and set them up. They just have to have an anchor up here in the corner. That means they're close enough to the port to be effective. Alright, now we're producing a lot of resources. And, oh, let's try to do walkthrough. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't walk through other structures. See, he is too far away from the port. And he's probably going to get swamped. Alright. Now we're producing a lot of goods, but we have nowhere to store them, so they're being lost. So let's move, let's create some warehouses. And I know we need some more warehouse space, so let's send this shit back to get some more warehouse people. And they follow the same rule, they have to be close to the port. This may be close enough, yes. Okay, it seems I just lost a house, but that's not a problem because we'll produce way too much cotton as it is, even with the one farmer. And rugs are not, they don't sell for that much. The iron plating will sell for a lot more. I just made the cotton. I normally wouldn't even make a cotton here. I would just use this for my steel production, because rugs is cheap. You're better off, if you wanted to make rugs, to go up here and buy your cotton for 2 and then come back. You're only losing 1 on a rug than trying to produce your own cotton, because cotton will fill up all your warehouse space and then you won't be able to develop any rugs or iron. So one maker is probably plenty for this. Alright, you can destroy these as well, and it's only a 25 cost soldier, so I'm going to go ahead and block this off. If I need to send somebody out, I'll just send another soldier and break him down. Alrighty. I think his people can walk through, but his soldiers won't be able to walk through and attack anything until they defeat these forts. And as you'll see later, we'll attack some other forts. It takes 2 or 3 soldiers per fort to destroy a fort, so you really have to bring several boatloads of soldiers to even defeat a small place. And as you saw with getting the people off, coordinating your armies is the hardest part, getting them all there and then getting them to attack simultaneously. But it's kind of part of the fun too of organizing a land invasion in the 1700s. Alright, speed this up. Now I could, I'm going to need it anyway, so I would have been better off just to buy another cargo ship. Fill it with the people I needed and send it on its way. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's grab 4 more army. Don't need any settlers. Let's grab another factory worker. A couple engineers. bunch of Storeman. Fill the rest of the sorters. Alright. Let's send it over. We're going to dock that one for now. And of course you could continue to send one back and forth on your gold route if you just really wanted to maximize your profit. But like I said, once I get a first 1 or 2 gold runs and get a little buffer against bankruptcy, I normally won't start selling gold again until I establish my own gold production, and then I'll use that from then on to ward off bankruptcy if I need a lot of funds. Because once you get, and I believe the reason they allow you this trade option is because once you get multiple settlements going, it costs a lot of yearly income to maintain that in the fleets, and pirates will come more often, so you really need a way to make quick money. Alright, let's get this thing in port. Alright, we know we need a couple more Storemen. Let's go ahead and do 3. Let's see what we produced during that time. See, we only have 1 slot left. We're maxing out our rug production, and we've got a resource, which means we're not making as many rugs as we're getting in cotton, and that's just from one house, one cotton grower. So you don't need a lot of growers, farmers, to produce the goods that you need to make. I wonder if I can move him down here. Well, that's too far from the port, we decided. Might run out of place to build. Close enough. Yes, you are. Alright. So that expanded us to here. We could expand up till we have, I believe, a whole screen's worth. But that gives us enough. To allow time for ships to get back and forth. Let's send them and pick that up. Alright. Let's go ahead and get these last 2 off the boat. Ship. Let's stick another worker in here. We'll leave all that on there. now we have a lot of space. Let's pick up some of this. Let's pick up this iron, a couple of these. Let's throw this extra cotton on here. Alright, we're full. Send him up here. And this is how you colonize. You explore for resources. You send your farmers out for agricultural resources. You build factories. You build factories to convert those resources into their upgrade tier. You send out soldiers to make forts, warehouses to store more goods, and you try not to block your harbor entrance. Your teachers, of course, go out to pacify the locals, and then your engineers make your bridges. All while avoiding swamps and deserts and anything else that will kill your people. And in an port, you can sell these goods. Alright. I don't believe, yeah, you can't get off the ship at an enemy port, so. Yeah, you can't let them off if you're not at a port. Let's sell these guys here. All right. And as you develop the town, it shows up here in the harbor screen with the different things you've made. Alright, we've got an empty cargo ship. We've got goods being produced. We'll just leave him here until he's full of goods, and we'll send him up to the French city, and we'll sell his goods. And if we just wanted to produce iron steel, we would search around these mountains for more iron over here to maximize our resource output, and we would maybe put another factory or so. That way we're pouring out. It seems to be coming in slower, but we could maximize our output of iron, which sells for more. And this is just one farmer is producing all this cotton. Now our weaver time in here is being split between smelting iron into steel and ore into steel, and then converting cotton into rugs. But it's a little more efficient when you only have one type. But we're producing way too much cotton, even with the one. Alright, I got a telling me that he was here. Let's send him down to this undeveloped spot. Here and let's save this game. Let's save it in game slot 2. Alright, and this is where we will end it for today for this part. Because next time in part 3 we will take our little troops here and do a little combat. Alright, thanks for watching.